What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review. And today, I am joined by the FLX boys, Dan, Mike.
Hey, gang.
Hey, gang.
Links in the description, and by links I mean singular, not plural, to their channel. Great guys, go check them out. And we do this, about every 3 months or so. We hang out, share some beers, and just so happens 2 days before we're hanging out, good friend of mine, viewer of the channel, Billy, dropped a nice little beer mail. Very impactful, though. He sent me 2 beers from Russian River, the Russian River Brewing Company. They're out of both Santa Rosa and Windsor, California. And this is the iconic Pliny the Elder. So, classic West Coast-style Double IPA comes in at 8% alcohol by volume. 100 IBUs according to Untappd. If it's right, who knows. And at the time of review, just over 3 weeks old. So, huge thanks to Billy for this beer. He kind of was just like, hey, I need your address. I misplaced it, and I was like, okay, here it is. And then a week later, this shows up, Blind Pig, a couple other cool beers. And I'm sharing it with these guys because they have never had Pliny before. I've had it before, never reviewed it, so you guys excited?
Oh, I'm very excited.
I'd say it goes without saying, but I think it does. We did not whine or beg or ask Joe to let us try this beer. We would never do such a thing, and it wasn't going to start now.
I should have just brought it as a surprise and been like, surprise. But I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know for sure if you guys had. I remember them saying they haven't had it before. So.
We have not, but yeah, we are absolutely excited. So
This is what they say, a whale in the FLX.
Indeed,
yeah.
Indeed. One, I'm going to let you pour this because I'm not going to be the one to
let's not
mess up the first pours.
Let's not F this up. Do not pull it away. I will fight myself.
I will make all the mistakes.
Oh, look at that fantastically horrible pour. We're fine.
If you notice, Mike has the dainty glass for the dainty man.
I'm gonna drink local,
Absolutely.
guys.
It will be pinkies out this entire review. I can already smell that.
We're doing good here.
Oh boy, I am so excited to drink this.
Yes, very much.
I'm doing terrible stuff like this because let's get all the goodies. So hops in this one: Amarillo,
Ooh.
Centennial, CTZ, nuts, and Simcoe, which can be fantastic. So,
I love Simcoe.
yeah. So
I'll tell you what,
baby, there's no turbidity to this one. That the road said that, daddy. It's very crystal clear. That's West Coast beyond belief.
Absolutely.
About a finger of a super creamy looking head. That thing looks like a nitro head.
Now, if I didn't know, I'd just say it was a Budweiser.
I'm gonna push him over right now and just steal his glass.
I mean, I'd probably say, something of that.
It looks like a classic West Coast style.
It looks fantastic.
I mean, you can smell it though when I crack it.
Yeah, like it's just a aroma just wafting all over.
The fucking head looks so fluffy and like dense.
It is.
It is very dense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you get the bubbles from the swirl and everything, but they leave.
Yeah.
And then it's just a still.
It smells fucking. Every time I'm like swirling, I can get the wafts.
Can we just?
Yeah, let's go.
Get into that bad boy.
It's my channel. There's no rules at all, but dude, that smells fucking awesome.
That's very pleasant. That is.
It is a nice sweetness.
Dude, it has such a great aromatic balance. Like you get that sweet from the malts, but it's amping up you're like grapefruit and orange, like almost candied in a sense. But then you get that big pine blast, and you're just like fucking resinous. You're like, yeah, the bitterness is gonna fucking rip my dick off. I don't know if that. All right,
I haven't had it yet. We're already losing body parts, and
I'm not saying.
I mean, I was just gonna go as far as I'm getting some resin of the CTCs.
I'm not saying that it's gonna happen.
I've got some things to explain to my wife when she gets home.
It might happen.
Hey.
We don't have to talk about it anymore. It might happen.
Joe did something, and now I am.
So seriously,
that's good that it's on my channel.
I hope you enjoy your last beer mail from
Yeah.
Never again.
Billy knows exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Oh man.
All right. I mean, it's West Coast. I mean, I'm getting a little bit of like a nondescript, tropical fruit. Very, very minor for me. It's mostly citrus heavy with that piney, maybe a little bit of a herbaceous type of thing.
I think all those aromas are very balanced, and they're just subdued enough to be. They're there, but telling you that the flavor is just gonna pop when you try it.
It just smells like a fucking awesome West Coast style double IPA.
It really does.
It's all it smells like. And that's what it's supposed to smell like.
Yeah.
I really like it though.
Me too.
You guys digging it? Anything else picking up there, Dan?
I wish they like, you know how they make those organic soaps, like the Squatch?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I want soap.
Yeah, give me a Squatch that smells like this.
They make beer soaps. Give me a Pliny the Elder
Yeah, there
fucking
we
beer
go.
soap right now.
I've got a bush.
No, I want to dive in.
All right,
This
let's get into it. Thanks again,
Cheers.
Billy.
Cheers.
Thank you, Billy. Appreciate
you.
it. Oh my goodness.
That mouthfeel is significantly different than what I had anticipated.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there.
Dude,
I was
it's-
expecting more of a crispness to it, but
It has that crispness up front, but it is so smooth and creamy on the
it's
finish.
soft.
It's fucking like
It is airy.
yeah, dude.
It is like
Oh, and there's the bitterness. It's after a couple
it
sips.
settles in. It settles in. But it's dancing around, like
It's-
all those flavors.
You can just like after the first like 2 sips,
ooh.
you can just tell how well made it is. You know, flavors aside, everything just like the beer itself, you can just tell like they know what they're doing.
Go ahead, Dan.
I'm really pumped. Sorry, I'm really pumped. I got to try this like super fresh.
Yeah,
Me too.
Right?
Just over 3 weeks old. Yeah.
Like
It's got to be primed, right? Like this is.
And it traveled across the country. So you know, when people talk about beer effect or weather effect, and I've said before, you're going from warm to hot or whatever, clearly didn't affect this. I mean, it's
so it's what's the ABV? 8.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like the mouthfeels were like really soft and airy and everything, but I don't know. It's a little thinner than I thought it would be for 8.
Okay.
But see, what I'm comparing this to.
Well, I wasn't even. And it's funny because I always do body mouthfeel
Right.
first. I'm not even thinking about that because I'm like trying to
Yeah.
trying to figure out what I'm fucking tasting. But when now you said it, I'll go back and try to see what you're saying is.
I guess I'm comparing it to like I've had a few from like I know they're new school, but like North Park, they do a lot of this style and stuff like that.
I would say this is more in like the medium range for me, and not really. I would like to see this like medium high. You know what I mean? But I don't. It's one of those beers that, and I've said this about triples, like, and I know you differ a little bit with that. I don't really care about the body. If the mouthfeel is substantial like this,
Right.
and the flavors pop, I'll say okay, body wise, yeah, it's a bit thin or whatever. And I'd say this is a bit thin, but I don't fucking care type of aspect for me.
Yeah.
I just know this beer. In my mind, when I'm talking about a West Coast-style Double IPA from anybody, and I'm drinking this now, this is what I want everything to taste like and feel like.
No, yeah, this is delicious.
This is, I mean, it's so we're not doing a great job describing it because we're terrible at what we
Yeah.
do. But here's the thing.
That's true.
Like, you get all that nice citrus fruit. It's sweet, it's zesty, it's orange, it's grapefruit. You could even say, even like
zesty, like
tangerine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's zesty.
grapefruit.
But because of the malt sweetness, you also get a little bit of the sweet, like the juicy part of those fruits, but it is more zesty, like rindy, pithy. And then like middle of the palate, that pine resin.
Look, you fancy with it. It's a melange.
A
of
melange.
citrus.
It's a
melange
melange.
of
It could be, dare I say, a tangelo. but like then halfway through the palate, that's where like the bitterness ramps up. You get that pine resin, a little bit of like actually a decent floral note, I feel like, and then it finishes like with a nice moderate to moderately high bitterness. It's semi to full on dry. It's just fucking beautiful for the style. There's a reason why. I still think on tap this is like a 4.5 still, right? This recipe is 20 plus years old. You're talking Amarillo, Centennial, CTZ, Simcoe. I think Amarillo and like Simcoe were like in its infancy back in the early 2000s. So a lot of people will be like, oh, comparing this beer to maybe a new West Coast with like a bunch of different newer hops. It's like, that's not fair. This is a classic recipe from 20 plus years ago, and it still stands the test of time. And that's, I think, the beauty about this beer.
This is the kind of beer, man, that I could just drink this whole bottle.
Yes.
And just be 100% satisfied with my day.
Yeah.
And just be like, that's it. I'm good.
It's a special beer that you can do that. Just drink that one bottle and be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm okay for the day.
What I love about this beer is, and I've mentioned this on my channel plenty of times, I am somebody who didn't get into the West Coast style until maybe the last 3 years or so. I've really started to appreciate it. Drinking this beer, and this is like the epitome of the style, like of this. Like I just reviewed Stones, and it's gonna come out before this review, but I did their 26th anniversary PaTroll IPA.
Oh, okay.
It was good. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Spoilers. not really, because you're gonna watch this after if you even watch the review. But it's 9.7%, and for something almost 10%, it kind of missed. I would say missed the mark, but it wasn't all that special, right? Mm-hmm. This is 8%, and this is fucking. If I want a West Coast-style double IPA, this is. I wish I could get this locally because it'd be like a fridge beer. Not anymore for me because of obviously everything going health-wise, but like before, yeah, all day long. Like it's just well made. It's just well brewed. It's there's no off flavors. There's nothing. It has a great balance, even though it does lean more bitter. It just has really nice flavors, and that mouthfeel. I don't remember the mouthfeel being as spectacular as it is. Like it does have a crispness up at the front of the palate when you first is like on the tip of the tongue, the spritziness. But then on like the second half, it's just fucking smooth and creamy.
Falls away quickly.
Yeah.
I really have nothing to add to anything you guys said. You've said everything that I've got.
It's classic West Coast style double IPA through and through.
I really enjoy it.
There's a reason why people still clamor for this, still say it's a great beer because it fucking is.
I think it held up to all the hype.
Yeah.
And it's rare for beers to do that, honestly, nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times you'll get these, big, hype beasts of beers that you're just like, oh, man, I hope, and then you're drinking, I'm a little disappointed, or you get collabs and they go sideways. No.
There's very few that me and Mike personally, we've gone back to, like, all the old school, like, the huge kings of the old bottle shares, if you will. And there's a few that have been like, okay, I get it, Obviously, Alchemist.
Yeah, the heady top.
The heady
topper is East Coast comparison to this in terms of like, people go just bonkers over it, but it's
right
for good reason because it's a great beer. Same
now
thing
I
with
can
this.
see why people do it with this.
Absolutely,
I am
blown away.
Yeah. So the first time I reviewed this, and by review I mean I fucking drank it and clicked on tap, and then they deleted my check-in because it's not on there anymore. Rating wise, I'd be curious to see what you guys gave it because I was going to mention mine, but I'm not going to influence you. So
okay.
I can't.
Me personally,
it's 5. What?
I give it a 4.5. 4.5. Yeah.
I think Mike's gonna go higher.
I am. I'm gonna go like 4.75.
And I'm with Mike.
Really
That's
like
what I gave it the first time.
All right.
This
is so good.
I don't do, and I know you guys don't, but you started to a little bit like. When I'm not really that familiar with a style, or maybe want to really speak to people and be like, okay, look, stylistically, it's this. Stylistically, to me, this is like a 5 out of 5. But I even give it a 4.75 because it blows me away because it's not my favorite style, even though I'm enjoying it. And just drinking this right now, it's just so fucking delicious. It's so delicious.
Well, we'll push it up a little higher for you.
For me personally, like with the West Coast things, and here's with this one.
Yeah, because a 4.5 is a fucking horrible score. I don't know what you're doing over there.
Okay. I'm trying to understand the question. Just keep talking over it, but we can't answer it.
We're just a little professional at FLX. We don't have time for all the junky jokes and whatnot. Forget it. It's over.
We're done.
No, what were you going to say?
Joe, price and availability.
Seriously, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, personal preference, I like my big 8% West Coast IPAs to be a little bit more syrupy. Kind of,
so it's the body thing that you're talking about.
Right.
And I can see that.
Right. But, see, with this one, though, I almost wonder if that would just, because that bitterness just stays for so long.
Yeah.
I wonder if that syrupy would just be the ultimate just palate killer. It's just, by the time you get halfway through the bottle, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Where this is like supremely drinkable. I mean, it's good.
Well, we've all pretty much.
For 8%, it's again, we really didn't talk too much about the ABV, but it's a little bit of a warming in the chest, and that's
I'm getting warming.
Yeah, but not on the palate. There's nothing astringent.
Going back to what you're saying, instead of being finishing the bottle and being pleasantly finished, you'd be like, oh man, I'm glad it's over. I don't think I could drink anymore.
Yeah. Right.
Now I think so price and availability, nice segue. That wasn't a segue. I think these are, and correct me if I'm wrong, Billy, anybody out there watches this from California can get this regularly. I know they get slight distro on the West Coast in different areas, but I think these are $5 a bottle.
Oh my gosh.
And it's 17.25 ounce bottle, so it's even bigger than a pounder can that we typically get. So for $5 a bottle, yeah, it's fucking quality through and through. That's great. And availability, like I said, a little bit into the West Coast. I'm sure you can find them in different states, maybe people bringing them in or whatnot, but I think you pretty much have to live somewhere out west to get your hands on Pliny.
That burp just tasted delicious.
You guys are already done. You're so fucking slacking. So once again, huge thanks to Billy for this beer. Really cool.
Thank you so much.
They were able to try it. I was able to actually review it. I've been wanting to, and awesome they hooked it up, and it's a fucking really fresh bottle. It survived the trip, and it's delicious. So I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Like I said, go check out that FLX boys. Link in the description. They need more subs. Great dudes, great channel. As you can see, they work really well together. When you throw a third into the mix, okay, I talk over them because that's what I do. And
Doesn't shut up.
I mean, it's this review is probably
I'll
like.
tell you what, if they stayed for the entire 25 minutes, then I'll be surprised.
Is this a 25-minute review?
We're pushing it.
Yeah, we're up to like 17.
All right.
All right, so you might have a 2.5. Oh, we gotta get
So, guys, we gotta talk about
Ew, some combos off the screen.
Ooh, snacks.
All right, we're gonna shut down. Appreciate everybody stopping by. To the next one.
Cheers.